If you want to make money, go out and work hard and be educated, then surely you can provide for your family. But if you really want to be blessed, go and look for the needs of the people and meet them. Then God will make it His business to take care of you.
My name is Tafa Zenumburuzi.
My name is Thauma Natalia Manyika.
My name is Ramai Chivasa.
My name is Obey Jasi Chiguta.
My name is Kolizra Dekunda.
My name is Gamchira Mtesha.
My name is Edmond Mariga.
My name is Moses Machifisa.
Mom and Dad, I wanted to know you. All the places and the things that you've been through. All the pain and the hurt that I brought you. That I caused you to have.
Higherlife Foundation came to life out of relentless passion to help young people in whatever way we could, to provide a platform for people to fulfill their God-given purpose. It was a big undertaking, and often we struggled to grasp if we were on the right direction. There was so much to be done, and so many lives that needed help.
My husband and I had a dream to start a telephone company in Zimbabwe. So in the process, because of the route which we took, which is suing the government, we lost everything. We were dead broke. And every day I would really pray and ask God, please help us to get the license. The more I prayed, the more I got desperate. And I began to really, trade with God that what could I do that maybe would help me to give meaning to what I was going through. So in a point of desperation and, where everything just looked so dark, I said to God, God, if you give me this license, I will look after all the orphans in Zimbabwe. And I knew it was for my own good, and it was for, and that I owed it to myself and to the Lord to do something like that. So the minute we got the license, I knew the promise and I kept my vow. But what we did before we even got the license was, as an act of faith, we began to look after orphans. We began to support orphans by giving them access to education through scholarships.
The Masiwas established the Capernaum Trust, which offers the Capernaum Scholarship to primary, secondary and university level orphaned and vulnerable children.
Why did it start before the company started? Because this was a personal conviction. And for me, it actually is a serious motivator in terms of my own involvement in HLF. Because I do realize that it's not a man-given vision, it's a God-given vision.
For me, the story of Higherlife Foundation at 20 years is quite remarkable, especially if you consider the fact that the founders, Mr. and Ms. Masiwa, actually started the Higherlife Foundation and the idea of helping the poor, the vulnerable, and those that are less privileged, long before they started their successful businesses. Again, the story of Higherlife Foundation would not be complete if you consider the role that Econet Wireless has played. So Econet Wireless has been phenomenal. Their senior staff, their operational staff, the CEO of Econet Wireless, Mr. Mboweni, he has demonstrated great leadership in how they have invested in what we do as Higherlife Foundation in such a committed manner, such that it's a great model that others could take, of shared value between a commercial business and social impact investment.
So what we do, the different interventions that we use to be able to affect positively the life of the child. So first, access to education. We want to make sure that the child is in school, is attending lessons. And then secondly, if they need food, many of them do, we give them a food package so that they have at least 1 meal a day and a healthy meal. Then thirdly, we also take care of their motivation, inspiration, and their spiritual needs so that they have an avenue or a group of people or family that they can talk to, that they can discuss the issues with. Majority of the children we are working with, or the children that we are part of the Higherlife family, are broken. They are, some are physically abused, some are positive and have never disclosed it to anybody, HIV positive. Some are physically sick, and if you don't pay attention to listen and to observe, you probably come a year later and find that they've passed away. So the interaction is not just an issue of transacting through a scholarship, but actually touching the child's life and getting to know them.
Being a Christian, I also sensed, that this is a path that the Lord wanted me to take. So in 2000, when they formed the organization, I became a volunteer director. And we had about 1,500 children then, most of whom were in Harare, in the poorest parts of Harare, such as Epworth and Mavuku. And we also had a couple, in the surrounding provinces, such as Mashonaland Central and Mashonaland East.
My journey with the Higherlife Foundation began in 2011 when I joined them as a Capernaum Trust Scholar. Since then, everything has been fine. Besides paying for my school fees, I've also benefited in many ways from the Higherlife Foundation. Just recently, I attended the Yale Young African Scholars Program, an initiative by the Yale University in America to empower young students in Africa to make a future for themselves.
Besides funding my school fees, it has also been giving us notebooks, yearly notebooks, whereby they are encouraging verses and inspiring messages to read that also encourage you each and every day. And also, we also have seminars whereby we are taught how to become great leaders, and we are given tips on how to have great leadership skills.
Higherlife has taught me a lot of things. It has taught me how to how to be engaged in community activities. It has also taught me to become a good leader. Also, it has developed me spiritually and intellectually. Higherlife is a good family, and it has taught me various morals.
I joined Higherlife 6 years ago, but basically my journey with Higherlife started earlier on, about 15 years ago, when my husband died and my children joined Capernaum Trust on the scholarship program, which is basically the higher work and the greater part of the work that we do as Higherlife Foundation.
After several years of successfully running the Capernaum Scholarship, the founders added talent development, mentorship, and leadership training to their work. They founded the Joshua Nkomo Scholarship Fund, devoted to identifying and nurturing talent and offering a merit-based scholarship to gifted students through high school and university.
My journey with Higherlife began in 2013 after my A-level, when I passed with 20 points in maths, physics, chemistry, and accounting. Then I applied and I was granted the scholarship.
My journey with Higherlife Foundation began in 2012 when I finished my A-levels.
Higherlife has done so much in my life. It has impacted me in a huge way, not counting maybe the fees burden that my parents have had to be lifted off from. There is the issue of leadership skills.
From being a responsive leadership through the workshops and trainings.
Now I have no problem in doing any task that is handed to me, and I believe I'm now a much more responsible citizen.
I have become this great person because of Higherlife Foundation.
If I get into a place, I just want to make things happen. I want to be there, I want to be involved in things that are going on.
Higherlife Foundation goes beyond a scholarship. It is an investment in ourselves, making an impact, extending the helping hand to others. And to myself, well, Higherlife is irresistible.
The scholarship's impact has spread beyond borders and has become a springboard for thousands of bright young people that have gone on to study and graduate from top universities and colleges abroad, including Harvard, Yale, and Oxford.
I believe for me the most defining moment was when I flew about 10 male students, our first international students that we were funding as Higherlife Foundation, to Morehouse College in Atlanta. For me, I just couldn't get over it. Just seeing, this group of young men coming from all sorts of backgrounds whose dreams, never included ever leaving the country. For me, that was just such a defining moment. And actually touching down in Atlanta and getting to Morehouse College, which is one of the most well-known, university because of its association with one of the greatest, civil rights activists, Martin Luther King. I felt we were really making history there.
I see them as a gift to the church and to our community. as a whole, and I'm proud of their achievement.
We were also interviewed on CNN, and this is something that when we started the organization, we never dreamt, could ever happen. I know that as we prayed, a lot of people had given prophecies, particularly around this work is going to grow immensely. But I don't think any of us ever imagined, that it was going to grow as much as that.
It's been my privilege to work over the past 4 years with all of the students from the Higherlife Foundation. It's been a pleasure to watch them grow and develop.
A national health crisis struck Zimbabwe in 2008. The story was devastating and heartbreaking. The pain and suffering prompted the Masiwas to immediately create the National Healthcare Trust of Zimbabwe to help intervene in the crisis.
We had that episode in Chegutu where over 300 people fell ill at the same time, and already 12 or 13 died on arrival at the hospital. And we needed a lot of drips, and we needed a lot of manpower, we needed a lot of drugs.
The Health Trust quickly went to work and started giving financial support to an overstretched and overburdened public healthcare delivery system, battling with little or no resources to provide healthcare to a nation in crisis.
We ended up responding to the crisis to the extent that we could, going into refurbishing clinics, training healthcare workers who provide essential services to communities, especially remote communities.
Higherlife gave us over $500,000 to mobilize these resources, and we did. And by the time the Celebration Health team arrived in Chegutu, by that night was the last death that was recorded, and that really hundreds of lives were saved that night.
We went into working with doctors, paying doctors training so that we could build capacity.
Wherever there was a crisis or a need, whether it was a malaria crisis, the fight against AIDS, battling a rampant cholera outbreak, or combating the Ebola outbreak, the Trust and its partners always rose to the occasion and offered help and support.
And for me, that was a defining moment. It showed that if you put in the right interventions on time, you can make that difference. The elimination of malaria in our country is actually possible, and especially if we work together with a lot of partners.
The National Healthcare Trust awarded over 200 scholarships for medical students at the University of Zimbabwe as it sought to build capacity in the nation's healthcare sector.
They supported us to the tune of over $2 million in enabling the institution to run the College of Health Sciences. This was very critical because we had to continue producing medical doctors, because almost all government hospitals are run by junior doctors.
We were running short of funds to buy equipment for our training. As you know, the College of Health Sciences trains medical doctors, scientists, medical scientists and dentists, and we needed a lot of money to do that, and Econet chipped in, and they offered us a grant of $100,000.
And on average, we have no less than 300 students being supported every year. And cumulatively, we now have over 6,500 students who have benefited from the intervention of Econet through Higherlife.
Higherlife Foundation stepped in around 2009 up to 2011 when I graduated, and they actually assisted me with my tuition and accommodation, which was about $1,100 per semester. And then that's why I graduated in 2011. I would have dropped out of medical school, but they actually assisted me with the tuition and accommodation.
They went on to pilot the Eco School, which was a program meant to ensure that every student in the college got a tablet, an Eco tablet, which was loaded with textbooks so that they can read them wherever they are.
For that, I think not just the institution, but the country, is most grateful for that wonderful support.
So I'm now a casualty officer at Higherlife Hospital, and I actually own a surgery in Sunningdale too. So I'm able to assist others.
And that, I think, is wonderful.
Take me home, take me home. I want to belong, I want to believe.
The growing work in the community soon created the need to partner with community champions that would provide guardianship for the vulnerable children we served and offer spiritual and moral support on the ground in the communities we were in. The Christian Community Partnership Trust was formed to meet this need. The trust worked with pastors, Christian counselors, and clergy in Zimbabwe and the region's least evangelized communities, helping people and spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ.
A lot of pastors were helped in the unchurched communities where it was difficult to reach out or to send pastors, evangelists, and apostles in those areas, in the Binga areas, much more remote spaces. And then the other part that also excited me was just the community transformation projects that they embarked on, equipping local communities to be self-sustaining, whilst at the same time ensuring that the gospel is getting to them. So it was biblically based, yet it was so practical.
Ndakatanga kushanda neve Higherlife Foundation muna 2008. Ndiri we Pentecostal Holiness Church. Ndichitanga kushanda neve Higherlife tanga tine ma-assemblies matatu. Asi tatanga kushanda neve Higherlife nekuda kwerubatsiro rwandakawana kubva kwavari. Takakwanisa kupulanda ma-churches akawanda. Pari nhasi tine ma-assemblies 8.
In a bold step that heralded a shift of gears in the work, Higherlife Foundation and Econet Wireless partnered to launch Ruzivo Digital Smart Learning, an online learning platform designed to provide learners and educators with high-quality educational content and learning resources. The platform targets primary and secondary school students and complements conventional classroom learning and government efforts in providing access to quality education for all. Ruzivo will significantly increase the Foundation's reach and impact and go a long way in contributing to the 4th Sustainable Development Goal of providing access to quality education for all children. The use of technology in delivering education became a turning point and marked a new era in which Higherlife Foundation began to scale its work. To date, in less than a year, close to 400,000 students have been registered to the online learning platform, which targets millions of scholars. The Foundation has also started distributing thousands of tablet computers in schools, in addition to building over 50 learning hubs in Zimbabwe, Lesotho, and Burundi that provide vital online access to learning resources to remote rural communities.
What Higherlife has been able to do at Mpamba School is exciting and revolutionary. Why? Because it's in a very remote place, and with lots of young people who are passionate to get a shot at life. Online learning is the now and the future. If we want to accelerate access to education, to leapfrog the access to quality education, Africa does not have the time to go through the cycles that other regions have gone. We need to fast track that access and quality of education to make sure that our children have the right skills for the 21st century. And part of what we have done in Mpambe is to make sure that we break the physical barrier of putting a hub in a remote place, and then also making sure that those children are able to get exactly what other students are getting in Harare, in New York, in Lagos, in Accra, in any part of the world. Any opportunity that we can have to invest in technology and it becoming cheaper, data is becoming cheaper. Within 12, 24 months, we have a revolutionary answer. I can't say anything now, but we know that we're going to be affecting millions of children, not just in Zimbabwe, but all over Africa.
We have been working to meet people's needs over the past 2 decades, and yet in doing so, we find there is much more need to be met. As the work has grown, in 2015 we reorganized to make ourselves more effective and better positioned to deliver on what lies ahead. We consolidated our 4 trusts and integrated them into one foundation, Higherlife Foundation, which focuses on impacting lives through education. We decided our job would be to secure Africa's future through education. It's a mission we and our partners have begun to live by and are committed to deliver on.
if you want to know the direction in which the continent is headed, well, we have leapfrogged a lot of the challenges that other nations have had, and we are on our way to really becoming a champion and a serious player on the global platform. Also, we have the biggest resource that other people don't have, the youth. A dynamic, passionate, committed youth. And with that, how can we fail?
You are a force for good in this world, for sure. And we appreciate all the fine work you've done. You have a great challenge in this world to add to the brain power in the world, ensuring that Africans are well educated in a competitive way. But you're up to the challenge, and Morehouse College is looking forward to continuing to partner with you and to support everything you do.
Higherlife has just been a model of excellence.
Our strong leaders could affect thousands. Their eyes will see what we could only dream of. They would unite where there used to be division. They would know and understand how to build Africa with the rest of the world. These leaders were going to be Africa's history makers. Technology is scaling the effectiveness and impact of Higherlife's work. Our online smart learning platform called Ruzivo will increase access and remove barriers. Our digital learning hubs are being planted in various communities, equipped with computers, tablets, and internet connectivity, and are reaching thousands of community members every month. With this streamlined focus on education, our pace has accelerated, and we are bringing the children with us.
Having a private sector background, what really excites me about Mzinda Hub is that it was started by Higherlife Foundation. We basically provided catalytic funding for the first cohort of students, and then thereafter we handed it over to Econet Wireless so that they could scale it to greater heights.
Thousands of web developers have been trained and are changing companies, cities, and technology all across the world. They were once broken and hopeless. Now they are bold, fearless, equipped, and ready to take on the world.
Higherlife Foundation has made me be able to align myself with my passion, because I'm really passionate about children, and I'm a computer science major, and it has enabled me to see exactly what I want to do for myself and how I want to impact the world using computers and with children.
Higherlife Foundation has been really such a great and a cornerstone in my life. They not only educate us in intelligence and classes and college, but they also educate us in like spiritually. They really help me grow.
And as Isaac Newton said, if I have seen any further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. And for me personally, that giant has been Higherlife. And I wouldn't have come this far if it wasn't for Higherlife providing financial and spiritual support for me.
I'm also grateful for some of the opportunities that Higherlife has given me. To be in the States, it's all because of Higherlife, and I'm truly grateful for that.
Country has been in a crisis for a really long time, and I see that Higherlife is going to help Burundi and Africa in general while empowering those kids with education.
I am really grateful for the liberal arts education, as it has made me a more balanced individual. To know about the history, to know about the economics is something that is not really taught in the schools that I went to, and now I feel like I know a little bit of everything to be able to go around and to influence other people, and even to take leadership positions to understand what kind of decisions people have to make.
Just imagine 2 million well-educated young changemakers with bold dreams, large capacity, and the education to sustain it. We kicked off the momentum by setting the ambitious goal of impacting 2 million children by 2020.
Going forward, we've set for ourselves the ambitious goal of impacting 2 million African scholars by the year 2020. It is a goal that we in Higherlife Foundation are all psyched up to deliver on. And it's a goal that we know will make a real difference as we step up our investments in Africa's future through education.
Our Higherlife alumni, Aubrey Munashe Magohlyo, now plying his trade at technology giant Facebook, and Dalumuzi Mhlanga, who went on to graduate from Harvard and Oxford, are testimony of how far we have come. There are more history makers out there. We know we are just getting started.
In an incredibly different world in which children have to learn differently, they have to be more creative, their capacity to absorb and learn information is being completely transformed. We have extraordinary tools at our disposal today to democratize education so that a child in the deepest part of rural Africa could be getting the same education as a child in Manhattan. Technology today makes that possible. What is missing is the will to get it done and the resources. Because if once we get the will in, the resources will follow.
Innovation is not confined to the next billion-dollar enterprise or the next gadget that saves money, time, and increases productivity. Innovation is an instrument for those with a conviction to continuously affect change. Our innovation is getting education to Africa. It's been said that education is the movement from darkness to light. So we're lighting up Africa.
I am a history maker.
I am a history maker.
I am a history maker.
I am a history maker. I am a history maker.
I am a history maker.
I am a history maker.
I am a history maker.
I am a history maker.
I am a history maker.
It started with a few children. Now Higherlife Foundation has impacted more than 250,000 children. One couple's vision, one organization's investment for social impact and shared value, and the use of innovation to fund the future leaders of Africa and the world. That has been Higherlife Foundation's story over the past 20 years.
God bless you all, and God bless Strive and TC Masiwa.